What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for a transfer update. I was not expecting to do any more transfer-related videos before the window would have shut or closed, and that's February the 1st, on Thursday. But there is an update, or actually, there are two updates, and everybody saw the news. It's Bonaventura and it's Pereyra from Udinese. But the day started with Udinese, with Di Marcio saying, you know what? The transfer market is not closed yet because Allegri and Giuntoli and Manna are all sitting together and they're looking to see if they can still bring somebody in. And when they said that, I was like, I was right. I was right what I said at the start of January when it came to, at the start, but definitely after the two Coppa Italia games, when it came to Miretti and the statement from a lot of people saying we don't need anyone because Miretti's minutes are going to diminish and the vibe is good and all those things. And I was like, that's the biggest lie ever told, because if you are telling me we do not need quality in this squad to push Inter ahead, that's a joke, because what we have is not enough. What we have out there, we're picking up the points, but it's kind of a miracle because the quality is still not as much compared to Inter. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before we do that, hit that like button. Let's push to, because you didn't do that last time, let's push to at least, let's push to 100 likes. Let's do 100 likes. The goal is 100 likes. Like the video. And if you haven't watched my first part of the podcast with Alberto from the All Juvecast, that's out. Go check that out. But let's jump straight into what is, for me, a depressing news video. Okay, so that was the news from Di Marzio, and I was like, when the news came out, I was like, this feels like we're gonna get linked with panic players, panic mode, panic buys, because this late in the window, which club is gonna sell their best player? You know, that's the only thing I thought about, and I was like, we waited this long, you know, we waited this long to see if we actually need any help. We needed help, period. Like, there's no ifs and buts. We 100% needed help if it was possible. Help not being Hoiberg or Phillips or whatever. Not that kind of help. And also, not these players that we're being linked with, because this smells like panic. The first one is Bonaventura, and Calciomercato broke the news first. So credit to them. They broke the news first, and then everybody kind of piled onto it. Romeo saying Juve have also inquired about two experienced midfielder, one of them Bonaventura. However, Fiorentina is currently not considering any offers, which is a good thing, because I cannot believe, and I don't want to disrespect Bonaventura because he's having a good season. Like, he is. I think he has, I don't know, 8, 7, something like that, goal involvements, got called up to the national team. He's playing well, which is good for him. You know, I guess. We should not be linked with Bonaventura at any point during the last 5 years or so, let alone now when he is going to turn 35, you know, in August. He's going to be 35, and he's not going to come play for you for 6 months. You're going to need to hand out 1 year deal extra, and that's a no-go. Like, that's an absolute no-go. This is panic mode. Then stay like this. Just stay like this. Don't waste a single penny on wages going into the next season, because we need much, much better. We need much better in terms of now, but especially in the future. And if you want to add experience, I'm all for it, you know. But experience can also be added at the age of 27, and you can still have something with that player, you know, because we play Champions League football next season. I don't want to go into the Champions League with some of the players we have now in the starting 11. Now, imagine doing that with a player like Bonaventura, with all due respect. That's not what we are about. That's not what we should be looking at. That should not be the plan. These names should not even cross the minds of Giuntoli, Manna, and Allegri. And even if Allegri is pushing for it, and I'm not saying it is, but it does sound like it, to be honest, Giuntoli must be saying, no, this is a no-go. Like, we're not doing this. You know, that's not the future of this club. Even if it's a 1 year deal, I'll bring it back to Discilio. Oh, he's good, and give him a 3 year deal. He's on low wages. He's not available, and when he's available, he has very average game, and he has a 1-2 good games a season. It's a waste of space. It's a waste of a wage. It is. And that goes back to a lot of things we've done in the past. We should not be like this screams the last past 4 years. That's what it screams to me. And when the news broke, I immediately got told you don't need to believe everything the media is saying. You know what? I agree. But this I'm gonna believe because it's coming from good sources and it's not just one source. It's coming from good sources and obviously not only from the club, also because from agent and Fiorentina's side, because Fiorentina's sources are already saying Rocco Commisso said no, which is good because he was claimed to be a Juventini and he's proving to be one again. These things are real. Like this is real and this worries me because that is panic mode. You know, you cannot dress it up as because the line was only players that were gonna bring in immediate quality and experience. Does he have experience? Yes. Does he have quality? I guess so. Like I guess so. He plays a role we're kind of missing. I agree with that. But the sticking point as well is the age, the profile, and like gonna be here next season. It really worries me. Like these things worry me extremely because it tells me we're kind of hesitant still about really moving on to that next level, you know. And even if it takes another year to integrate more players, do that. I'd rather do that than make these type of signings. I really do, and that goes for a lot of these players. That goes for the following name as well, Pereyra, ex Juve, which makes it very easy. I don't want ex players back, so there we go. But Romeo saying they asked information about him. However, Udinese won 3 to 4 million euros, and there are no real developments on it. Udinese are laughing. They're like, "You want Pereyra? Great, we're gonna make money out of him." It's not saying of him. Excuse me, not saying it's gonna happen. But if this is not panic mode, I don't know what it is. This screams we thought we were good at the start of January, but now we're like, you know what? We need help. I could have told you that in September, by the way, but I'm going to be generous. I could have told you that in December, and I actually did. And then the Coppa Italia games happened, and everybody forgot the lack of quality in this team. And I was like, if you can do something, do something. Do not panic. Do not do that. They waited this long, and now the news is coming out because there's no news at all. And this is the news that's coming out, not Samardzic and not Sudokov or whatever. These are the names coming out. I said, you waited so long, and now with 2 days left, you're sitting around the table to see if you need to do something. These names are panic names. They're panic names, and those are never good signs at all. I'd rather play Miretti and just hope he comes good. I'd rather do that. I really do. I really, really do than this. Because I don't think bringing him, I'm convinced actually, bringing in Pereyra or Bonaventura is going to move the needle to beat Inter to the Scudetto. Unless Inter have a very quote unquote epic collapse, but a big drop off, then yeah, maybe, you know, but I think we can even do that with the 11 we have now. I was looking at if you can improve the squad, good, but the improvement also needs to be here for the following seasons, no matter who the coach is. That's also a key thing because it's not certain Allegri is going to say, I don't want the next coach to come in and be like, I have Pereyra and Bonaventura. What now? That's kind of a waste of a spot in the squad. That's my big worry. Like, this is panic mode because it's very late and you had a month, and I refuse to believe the club actually thought it wasn't needed because of those Coppa. I refuse the club was looking at it like majority was looking at it and was like, oh, the Coppa Italia looks good, you know, Miretti, and I love Miretti, but I have said we need help. If Miretti cannot top the guy who comes in, it is what it is, man. You know, that's a top club. Deal with it. Learn. This, for me, is just depressing. And again, I don't want to disrespect Bonaventura because he's having a good season, but like the age, like it just gives me PTSD to the last couple of seasons where the decisions being made were so out of touch with what this club should be. And this is not a very positive sign in my opinion. It feels like, okay, this is panic station again, you know, not really needed when you had entire January to kind of figure it out. Same goes for Pereyra. Again, not saying it's happening. probably not going to pay 4 million, and Fiorentina are not going to let Bonaventura go mid-season. He's out of contract, but apparently Fiorentina also have an option to extend it. So that's it. I know a lot of people are saying bring in Bonaventura. I'm just looking big picture, long term. I'm like, I don't like these signs. But let me know in the comments you make of it. Do you think we should be, and let's say in a hypothetical world, it is possible to bring in Bonaventura or Pereyra? Do not think about Fiorentina. Do not want to let them go. Udinese wants money. Just hypothetically, you can bring one of those guys in. Would you do that? Keep in mind, it's not 6 months. It's 1 year and a half, depending, 2 year. I don't know. So let me know in the comments. Like the video. Let's push to 100 likes. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for later tonight.